Okay, today is September 30th, 2015. Let's take a look at the market and see how it did today, and then we follow up on a stock that we've been, kind of looking at since the weekend video. First of all, we finally got the push that we were looking for. The S&P 500 actually came up to, book just a little bit above this resistance level, this 1385, close to this 1914 level. We're looking for that push. On Monday, on Tuesday here, but yesterday we didn't get too much of a push. So we finally got that push today, and essentially we're looking at, a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern on the intraday, which we'll take a look at it on the spider. First of all, let's go back and take a look at the a little bit longer time frame on this S&P and kind of show you what I'm looking at. Right, because I'm looking at this long-term channel here. Okay, this starting at the 2009. Some of you might have seen that. I posted on my Twitter stream. You can see that essentially I'm looking for this thing to trace back down to the lower trend line of the channel, which is the the October low, last October low here, somewhere around the 1820 level here. And a lot of people basically are looking for a retest of the August low here, and that would be the October close somewhere, okay, on the 15th. But if we look at this, this weekly chart here, if we come down to this lower channel, then we're essentially going to attack this, October low, okay, and essentially that's what I'm looking at right now. Although we might get a little bounce. Come up to maybe the 1948 or even this 1993 area. Okay, so let's go back and take a look on the daily here, and then looking at the SPY. Let's go to the SPY, and then we could take a look at this SPY on the intraday chart, and we could go back and talk about the this head and shoulder pattern that we're watching. Right, this head and shoulder kind of changed the color of the line, so it's kind of stand out a little bit. So you can see that it broke this baseline last week, and it came down. So we're basically looking for a push to come up here and maybe get a retracement down to the major move. So right now it came up and bumping against this 191.60, this basically this resistance zone here. So we're gonna see, would it be able to continue to move up, and if it does, then we might see a another level of resistance somewhere around this 195.40, which is essentially this particular pivot high here. Okay. And on the daily, if we go back and look at the daily, that's essentially this particular high here, this engulfing candle, this big red candle here, that's the level that I'm watching on that particular resistance level there. Let me go back so we could see these levels here. So essentially I'm looking to see will we get a follow through and come up and take out this level here. What I'm really expecting is for it to come back and retrace back down to get down to this major move here, which is the 180% of this head and shoulder, right? This major move here. So essentially I was looking down to after it broke the baseline, come back, retest, right, and then come down here and do the major move. And that major move is essentially this this distance here, 80% of that distance is down here. Okay, and if it's 100%, then we're basically talking about maybe getting down to 178. So so that's basically the thing that I'm watching right now. I mean, anything could happen. It could just continue to move up here. Then all of a sudden that it could change the pattern a little bit, and it could be doing something that could maybe turn a little bit bullish, right? So what will transpire is it could do this. All right, let's say come up, right, hit resistance here, and then come back down, retest this particular resistance level, now turn into support. Then all of a sudden we got this inverted head and shoulder. Then now we could do a major move here. Then it could be coming back up to this pivot. Okay, so just kind of watch for these patterns. But right now we're basically looking, since the trend is still down. All right, so we're basically looking for this thing to resume downward to see and look for potential resistance or pivot point. Okay. So that's basically the S&P or the SPY. So let's go and take a look at the NASDAQ. Okay. Oh, the other things I want to show you is the New York Composite. Okay, see, when we talk about index divergence, you really have to pay attention to that. This New York Composite is over that, the entire New York Stock Exchange, all the stock that is traded in the New York Stock Exchange, right? So not the 500 blue chip in the S&P 500 or 30 Dow stock in the Dow 30. Okay, so you can see right here, if you notice, here's this, on Monday, hit a close to the new pivot low, right? You see this pivot low. This is the 24th, and this is the 26th or the 25th. I think that's the 25th. Okay, so this is the 25th low here, and here's the Monday's low. So you can see that we got a lower low here, and if you look at going back to the the S&P, we did not get a lower low. So you see this divergence there. Now again, this is only representative of 500 stocks, so there's a lot of game that you could some of these computer could play to manipulate the index a little bit. Because it's kind of weighted, and they could just focus on a few stocks that really make a lot of influence on that index. Versus the New York Composite, a little bit more difficult to do. So you can see that it is hitting new lower low here. So kind of pay attention to that. We could, not saying we will, just that we could see this thing to come down, because everybody have to catch up with each other, and everybody have to be in sync when the market move in a general direction, right? So when we get divergence, it's all depends who is doing the diverging to the upside and the downside, and to kind of give us a turning point. But New York Composite is not the one that sent us a signal about turning point. So it's not diverting the correct direction. So look for possibility of lower low on the other indexes. So let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100. And the NASDAQ 100 was talking about this support level, right? So it's holding the support level, and right now it's kind of bouncing up. Okay, so we're going to see, can it get a comeback? And remember this trend line, we're still looking at this trend line here. So this is the resistance zone. So it could be by the time we get up here, then it basically in confluence with this trend line here. So right now we're basically looking at these level here as the potential resistance if it continue to come up, because right now it's still this support here. If this break this level of support, then again we're basically looking for it to come back down and retest this these level down here, the August low or the last October close. Okay, and then the Russell 2000. See, also the other thing is, you notice the Russell 2000 yesterday closed at a new low as well, because consecutively following Monday. Right, so again, these are a little divergent. That is giving us a little sign of what to expect of what might happen. Right, so pay attention to that. So don't get too bullish just because we get a bounce. Be cautious. All right, not saying that it cannot have more upside potential, but this certainly is giving a little bit of a conflicting message. Right, so be a little cautious. Right. So right now, it's trying to get back up to this level here, but we're still looking at this, coming down to this level somewhere around this 127. Essentially, this breakdown of this H pattern. All right, so we're looking for this 1049 continuation to come down. Okay, a couple other things. Let's before we take a look at the individual stock, I want to take a look at the TLT. All right, there's a lot of talk that the Fed is trying to kind of calm everybody down about the economy and that kind of stuff. So they talking about the possibility of still there's a possibility of a rate hike because the U.S. economy is doing so great. It could stand it as well. Whatever it is, we'll wait and see what happens. But looking at the TLT, that certainly is not the message that the TLT is sending. Right. So I know I got a lot of lines here. Okay, but if we take a look, right, so essentially, this thing is trying to get up here, okay, to 128 somewhere, right? Okay, and it is holding this, basically a higher low, right? Okay, so if we could get up to this pivot, then there's a good chance that we'll come back up here. Right? So right now, the TLT seems to be indicating that it won't go higher. That means the yield is going to come down, right? So for interest rate hike, and if the market is believing it, I don't think it will be going up. It would be maybe coming back down. But anyway, because kind of look at that. And the other things that I want you to look at is also the dollar, okay? So, that, and if the interest rate going up, the dollar should also be going up as well, right? So you could say right now, maybe the dollar will come up and break this 98. Well, we don't know yet. It could be, coming back down to this 93 and break this level here. Certainly, there's a little wedge here. Okay, so, a descending triangle, we have to kind of wait and see to see is the rate hike really, in the card here? Because if it is, then, the dollar should go up. Okay, so kind of keep an eye on that. All right, so see, is it really going to come up and break this particular trend line here? Because I am saying that if it come up and break this pivot high, okay, this pivot high here, 98.425, so then we probably will see a stronger dollar, and that's not good. It's not a good thing for all these international company that's doing U.S. company that do a lot of business internationally. Okay, so we also want to look at the ETF, what's that, the UUP, on the dollar here. Okay, so you can see it's the same kind of scenario, right? It's getting on this little wedge here. Right? Okay, so kind of keep an eye on that. If it come up, basically break above, that's not good, and if break below, then that would be a good thing for the U.S. corporation, but certainly doesn't seem to indicate the rate hike is going to materialize in 2015. Okay, so it's a double edge, right? If we increase rate and then, the Fed trying to tell everybody that the economy is doing good and so forth and so forth, then, the dollar goes up, then it's just going to kill a lot of the earning on these companies that doing a lot of the business, internationally. So that's a bad thing. So yeah, the Fed is walking in a fine line, and they basically put themselves in a corner right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they weasel themselves out. So anyway, let's take a look at some of the stock here. And the one that we've been looking at is Apple. Right, so also says some alert here. Essentially, we're looking at Apple, and coming down to this 618, 107 for support here. Essentially, also this one 105.99. Basically these pivot low here is like a 106. So today it kind of got a little bit of an inside bar here. So we're going to see, is it going to break down, break below, then it's going to come down and test this level, or it's trying to break above and try to get back up to this 117. Okay, that 117.16 will be probably one of the levels to watch for us to reclaim, because that's also sort of in confluence with the 38.2 retracement. So essentially it's still, try to get out of this retracement zone. If we get above that 117, then maybe we could get back up to this 120ish level. If it come down and break below this 618, this 107, then we'll probably be maybe looking at the possibility of a H pattern breakdown. Okay, so that's we're still looking at that. And also Facebook, we've got a little bounce on Facebook, and we're saying that keep an eye on this 91. Right, that's still going to be the resistance level. If it can't reclaim that, right, it's just going to come back down, because right now it's just still kind of splashing around in this between the 50 and the 38.2. Okay, so kind of keep an eye on that. If it cannot get above this 91 level, chances are it's going to come back down, and most likely test this 85, 86 again, and maybe get down to these level here, 82.5 and 78. Okay, then the Amazon, still holding in that channel. We're talking about this channel, so we're still holding the channels. Want to see, can it get back above this level here? If it could get back above this level, then it could come up and maybe retest the high here, that's 578. But if it can't do that, then the chances are it's going to come down and take out these level down here. Start looking at these bigger fib retracement. So essentially, this 466. This little pivot here. Okay, all right. and then this channel will be broken. Then all of a sudden it be retracing back at this big swing here. Okay, all right. Then the other one, Netflix. All right, Netflix is still, on this little wedge. Remember yesterday I was talking about, doing a major move, and we're essentially doing this major move and, project it down here to get it somewhere on the 80%, major move of this this triangle. It says it's somewhere around 67. Right, and if it broke above, then we're doing a projected move and basically coming back to this previous high. So the previous high is near that 130 area here. Okay, but so you can see that right now it seems to be like peeking its head up here, to try to break out on the upside. So in addition to that, I also went back and kind of have a trend line here on this little bit of a bigger trend, and so it's still riding above this trend line here, and it could come up and maybe tag this level up here, this 114, if it continue to move up. All right, but the other thing is this has 618, I mean the 78.6 here. Right, this level here, this 111. So if it come up, it still could encounter this, these pivot level, this gap here as a potential resistance. But again, right now we're still looking at to see, is this thing really going to break above, or just a little bit of a wishy-washy type of move today, and it could still come down and maybe bump down on this this trend line and break down and break the 618. Then get down to this 87 on the 50% level here, 50% retracement level on this, bigger, fib swing here. Okay, so then also, you could do a little bit of a, major move using this this projection here, okay, on this triangle, right? And then Google, same with Google, still confined within this. Triangle here. Right, so right now we're still looking at to see, is it going to break above, come up here to this 680, somewhere around this 680 resistance, 675, or going to break down and then get down here to this 605, and then possibly get it down at these level here, retest these highs. Okay, then we got the Twitter. Right, kind of peak above this trend line. Remember, we were talking about when it break that trend line, it still got that 27 as a resistance, so it's hitting about that with 27. And if we take out that 27, we're still looking at this 2950, which is the first post IPO low. Right, so there's quite a number of resistance for Twitter to contend with, even though it kind of broke this this trend line here. And so we kind of have to keep an eye to see is there any follow to, although there's news that or rumor, not official yet, I don't believe, that Dorsey is going to be named as a new CEO. So we'll see how this turn out, because don't forget, Wall Street have a tendency to buy the rumor and sell the news, right? So maybe when they make it official and they might tank, you never know. So we'll just have to watch the price action on Twitter to see how is it going to play out. Would it be able to come up here and try to test the 2950, or it's just going to peter out at this 27 and then come down and we test this? Then we also have this H pattern breakdown, right? And we're talking about getting down to somewhere around the 1675. Okay, and then we got Tesla. Tesla is still kind of try to make a move up. It's still testing this 38.2, and we're saying that it can't hold this 254. Then the chances are it's going to come down and maybe get down to this 236 here. Right, so this 50% retracement. So we got to see would it be able to get back up. It's not doing too well right now. So might see this this thing just kind of hover and slowly drift down. So the other thing is the IBB. We talked about that IBB yesterday. Say don't be surprised that we could see a bounce. And, well, that breaking out this engulfing candle, right? Because these inside bar, we said we really don't want to see it to come up or make it break out. like this, have a strong candle, kind of break out today, because we really would like to see maybe a, kind of a few day kind of consolidating, build a little bit of energy, and then break out. Then you get a little bit more sustaining move. And the other things that we don't want to see was a gap up open up here and then kind of faded, maybe open up here and then kind of fade out all day. So today's candle is actually not bad. It did gap, but although percentage wise it's still pretty hefty. What is the it's up almost 5%. Okay, so we just have to kind of keep an eye on this. I still think this is, even though we get a pop, it's just a temporary pop. And I would say, but don't chase the long on this thing. Maybe look for a possibility to go short on the rip. When it come up, and look for some kind of pivot point, pivot level for it to to turn back down. And I think this thing is still coming down, but you never know. Anything could happen. So good luck.